Hey guys, welcome to this week's video. Here with Dan of Monroe Morphs.
How's it going?
Good. We're going to talk about some of his ball python projects, some of the stuff that he's working with. I wanted to get some ball pythons on the channel because really, other than my one that I have floating around the house, I haven't really had any, and obviously a lot of people are into them. So it was definitely a void for me on my channel. We've gotten obviously a lot of bloods and short tails, some Australian stuff and whatever, but I was really excited to actually come up here and get some ball python content for all of you guys because a lot of you keep them. So he's going to go ahead and talk about some of the projects that he's working with and stuff he's producing and, you know, what he's looking to do directionally, and we'll talk about that. So go ahead, Dan.
All right. So as you said, Monroe Morphs, it's my wife Stephanie and I. Basically, our main focuses are a couple codoms to kind of throw in the mix, but we're doing a lot of recessive this year and built that over the last year, 2 years. Specifically Axanthic, the VPI line, Lavender Albino, Pied, of course, Clown, of course. Started into Puzzle and Desert Ghost. Desert Ghost market is really big right now, as with Puzzle. And then aside from that, a little bit of Albino, Ultramel, Caramel, kind of hitting a little bit of everything. You can't go wrong with recessives, but you do need the codoms and the dominants to go with them. One gene that we also are working with that's limited with other people is Burgundy Albino. It's a line of Ultramel. It's a different, I guess you could say, bloodline. Only a few people are working with it at this time, and some really good things to come with that. So we did some building blocks this year just to get that project going. But this year specifically, we've really had a lot with Axanthics and Pieds, a couple clown combos, and then one that I work with, as well as a handful of people, Shredder, which is a granite type gene that we're just trying to see what the best combo we can make with it. So pretty much this season there was a lot of hatchlings. I think altogether, with the last couple clutches we have this year, we're around 200 hatchlings, which is awesome, but at the same time, it's been a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
The rack, I don't know if it's in the
Yeah,
viewer.
you can see some of it here.
So the rack here, I've shifted it about 3-4 times already this season, just with hatchlings coming in, going out. It's been a very busy season for the reptile industry in general, as well as, of course, for ourselves. Great customers, meeting a lot of nice people. But
yeah, everybody thought sales were going to be down with this, and it's been like crazy up.
Yeah, there's been a lot of memes out there as certain companies or whoever like stressing everything, and ball python keepers are sitting there with the tea or whatnot.
Yeah.
But I think it's felt with everyone in the reptile industry, because whether you're making cages selling rodents or you're producing ball pythons, carpets, whatever, it's booming, and that's great. It's a great, strong community. So aside from the stuff we obviously have for sale, there's a lot of stuff we've been making and holding back. This year is our biggest holdback year. It doesn't sound like a lot, I'm sure, to some people, but for us, we're already about 60 holdbacks.
That's a lot.
Really just trying to make some tweaks every year to better the collection. So kind of to jump in a little backwards, I guess you can say, like the most recent clutch that just hatched out was a Enchi yellow belly pied female, 66% het for ghost, to a firefly pied male. There was 6 eggs, there's 4 females, 2 males, and honestly, out of it, I think maybe 1 or 2 at best are going to be available, because it's just like, yeah, I want those for my collection.
Yeah. People pick on me for that stuff. It's like the whole point of us breeding is to make our collection better. And, you know, we sell some stuff, but we sell stuff really to fund the stuff we want to keep.
And again, like I could say, this year, there's been some great customers that we've had, some great relationships we've built, where you're funding this, like you're helping with this just as much as we're helping with you get started, or be involved, or give you the tools and everything to do the projects you're doing. So we're all in this together, and it's just awesome the stuff we're able to see come along the way. So this year we definitely had a lot of pied stuff. I'll grab one clutch quick. And they're just going in the shed, so I could tell you some of the combos, full confidence, but there's a couple that there's subtle things where it's like, I'm going to tell one thing, I'm going to wait for it to shed and go, okay, it's actually this. Just to show off a couple quick. A lot of orange, a lot of yellows and everything, but so the star, stay right here?
Yeah.
Okay. So the star of this one, and this one is one of the female holdbacks. So this is going to be Enchi Fire. I'm going to say it's a yellow belly as well. So you cannot go wrong with a female like this in your collection. Definite powerhouse. Going a little down from it. That is going to be a fire. I'm gonna say Enchi, and I'm questioning the yellow belly just because of some of the saddles. But again, I'm gonna wait till they shed out. This was my favorite clutch of the year, and just seeing all the stuff come together. As with anything, as with a lot of people in this, second set of eyes is always great because everything can vary to a degree.
Like we were just talking off camera about sexing short tails, and that's why every clutch I produce, I go up and Rob goes through them as well, because at least then there's something continuity wise, because it's so tough.
Right.
And you know, if two people agree on the same thing, it's a lot better than just one.
This is one that a friend of mine was just left, and we had kind of a debate on it. I'm still at my current stance going to go with my gut feeling. So this is going to be a Firefly yellow belly pied. So Fire Pastel yellow belly pied. He is questioning the Enchi. I'm going to say possible at the moment, but I'm not seeing it. I'm going to wait till it sheds.
I like the reduced, all that white. I've always liked the high white pie stuff.
So,
which kind of stinks when it comes to identifying other genes, because you get so much less to work with. But
so like a comparison is something low white like this in the combo. Enchi's going to do that. Enchi's going to bring in more pattern. The Fire is going to reduce pattern. So then when you put them together, they're kind of battling each other.
Gotcha.
So that's just a couple out of that. So aside from the pieds, and I apologize, we're going kind of quick because some people are melting in the heat right now.
Fat people, check on your fat friends. It's hot. It's about 85 degrees in here.
Yeah, 85 on this end. So we did a couple of Axanthic clutches this year. We did some heads to head. We did some double head, focused on Axanthic pieds, as well as Axanthic lavender, which would be lavender snows. While we did hit on lavender snows this year, we did miss on the Axanthic pieds, but we made some real nice fire Axanthics that have great marking, everything, so they're probably going to prove. So that's a huge project, and just Axanthic pieds right now are big, but when you add fire or pastel, it just brings it another level. It keeps that gray and that kind of silver tone to it much longer.
It's strange because Axanthic's been around for quite a while, but it seems like for a while it kind of went to a lull. People weren't doing a lot with it, and now it's kind of become popular again. I think it's a cool gene.
It's something about this market that goes through almost phases. One moment it's very bright stuff, next moment it's very dark stuff, next moment it's color, next moment it's no color. So it's kind of all over the place, and something about Axanthic in the last couple of years, just a lot of people are focusing on it. And there's many lines of it that are not compatible with each other, so everyone's got something different they're working with. So once again, for my lines, it's VPI. That's the only line I have in currently, and that's the only one I intend to work with. So just to do like a comparison quick, and I gotta find. So this is going to be an Axanthic 66% het pied on its own. Let's see if I can not move too much.
Yeah, you got a wide range. You're good.
Okay. And then if I can put it down on the table and keep it in view. So this is going to be an Axanthic Fire Axanthic, 66% het pied, and this one has a ringer, has tail striping for tracks, so most likely going to improve out. But just seeing a comparison between the amount of gray, white, if you call it, that comes through, and how clean it looks. And that's the fun thing about this kind of hobby industry and stuff, is always seeing what you can do with the jeans to make things look better.
Yeah, it's funny because I'm looking at it on the camera, looking at it in person, and on the camera it doesn't show as much of a contrast as in person. In person, it's a significant difference. You can tell a difference in here a little bit.
Got it.
But it stinks, man. Certain things just don't pick up as well as you'd like them to, and that difference in person is really, really impressive.
And again, anyone that's working with Axanthic, that is where you want to know what jeans to have in your collection to better the project. A lot of people make jokes about pastel. There's a lot of pastel in the ball python industry, and some people try to get away from it. This is one project that pastel, fire work well. If you do a firefly pied, it's white and silvers and everything like that. They're almost metallic looking when they come out. Okay. And it keeps that color longer. One thing that people focus on when it comes to this gene, and depending on the bloodlines, is they quote unquote brown out with age. They do to a degree, but at the same time, you can reduce that with certain things that you throw in. So going kind of away from, or I'm sorry, before getting off that, the other thing was snows, like I said. So taking Axanthic, like we just had, and adding in, lavender albino. So making that combo, so this is a lavender albino, this one's 66% het Axanthic.
It's really sharp.
And when you add those two together, you get what's called a snow. So this is double recessive. And snows have been worked with for some time. There is a regular snow, which is albino and Axanthic. There is the lavender snows, which is lavender, albino, and Axanthic. It is a project. It's something that people have worked on for a while, but again, minimum has been done with it. Everyone's focused on making this and not thinking the next step. There has been clown done with it, and some people look at it and they go, doesn't really do much for me for the pattern. Well, it's not so much about the look as the power you have in that animal now. Okay. A triple recessive in this market is insane. Okay. So what we're doing is we have these, but we're also working them into not only clown or pied, but we're adding in other codon genes just to build off that. So again, this year was making stuff that is, of course, quality, what people want, but also the things that we need for our projects. So we are working a lot with lavender and Axanthic, just mixing it into the right combos. So kind of to bounce a little bit, as I was just saying, one thing that I am working with, trying to really see what combos are out there that works. There's a couple other people, and I've talked about it on other videos, is the shredder gene. It's a granite type pattern. There is a super form. It is something that, just like everything else, it's almost that sleeper gene, trying to figure out what it goes with. So a base form of shredder, if it wants to bite me.
That's why it's shredder, right?
I like the nippy ones because they eat well.
Yeah.
So this right here is just a base